This castle is secure. Now, can somebody tell me what secure means? Vivian?
Protected.
Protected. It is protected. It is closed up. It is locked up. It is safe from being attacked. Next word, surrendered. Somebody make me a sentence with the word surrender. Hold on a second, Christopher. Jameson.
My friend surrendered in a snowball fight.
All right, my friend surrendered in a snowball fight. All right, now somebody tell me what surrendered means.
You agreed that the other team won.
You quit and agree that the other team has won.
Yeah, I'm looking at the definitions.
I don't think so. If they are, I can't tell. Next word, occasionally. Occasionally. Ava, give me a sentence with occasionally in it. I occasionally go to the beach. Now somebody tell me the meaning of occasionally. Vivian?
Like you barely go to the beach, so you like go like once.
Only once in a while. You only do it once in a while. You don't do it all the time. All right, next word, furious. Furious. What does give me a sentence with furious in it, please. Are you raising your hand? Okay. Ava.
I got furious after my sister.
I got furious at my sister. What does furious mean? Christopher?
You are very, very angry.
Somebody that is furious, they are very, very angry. The next word, rebellion. Rebellion. Somebody give me a sentence for the word rebellion. Rebellion. Go ahead, Christopher.
I wasn't raising my hand.
Oh. Somebody give me a sentence with rebellion in it. Here we go. The students were rebelling from the school because they couldn't play on the playground. Rebellion. The political system is the people that make the rules for the school. Alright, so rebellion means to defy authority or fight for change in a political system. Going against. It's another word for protest. Last word, tyrant. What is a tyrant? Somebody give me a sentence of a tyrant. Ava?
The king was a tyrant who never let his citizens get out.
All right, the king was a tyrant, never letting the citizens get out of the kingdom. Which is, a tyrant is a powerful person who rules others in a cruel and unreasonable way. I forgot that one. All right, open up your book to the story, The Battle of the Alamo. The Battle of the Alamo, which is on page
290.
290.
Is that right?
289 really, but yes, you were right.
These have been 100. So.
Yeah.
Are we going to do a test on this?
Yes, we are.
Yes, we are. Okay. Yes, we are, Christopher Brown.
Vivian.
Yes.
I do not believe your name is Miss Piper. Said, I do not believe your name is Miss Piper.
That sounds like Christopher. The story starts on 290. I know. Which page? We're at 290.
Wow.
Yo, I found this false book. This false what? This false book. No. What? It's on page 319. 319? If I don't lie and say. Can we read 319?
Not yet, no.
Yeah, no. Oh, I found it. I found it.
All right.
The Battle of the Alamo by Amy Jane Levitt. Illustrated by Martin Bustamante.
Everybody should be following along, please. Following along in your book. So I really shouldn't even need to zoom this in because y'all should be following along in your book. All right.
Taking Sides Over Texas. It's December 9th, 1835. The streets of San Antonio, Texas are filled with excitement. After 4 days of battle, the Mexican leader, General Martin Perfecto de Cos, has surrendered. The townspeople of San Antonio cheer when the Mexican army marches out of the city. Soon the news of the surrender spreads to other Texas citizens, or Texians. The Mexicans feel ashamed for losing to soldiers they consider to be backwards frontiersmen. In 1821, they won their independence from Spain, and that was against a professionally trained army. If the Texians think they have won the fight, they are wrong. The Mexican soldiers know they'll be back to reclaim their honor. Surrendered. If you surrendered to an enemy, you gave up and agreed that the other side won. Across Mexico, many citizens wonder what the fighting is about. After all, Texas is part of Mexico. And even though many Texians are from the United States, most have become Mexican citizens. They always got along with the government. Why are they now fighting against Mexico? The problem started soon after Antonio Lopez de Santa Anna became president in 1834. After Mexico became free of Spain in 1821, the new leaders wrote a constitution. This set of laws protected the rights of the people and gave them the right to vote. But Santa Anna thought the Constitution was making Mexico weak. He decided to make laws of his own. Under these harsher laws, citizens had fewer rights. Most Mexicans went along with the new laws without complaining. But many Texians felt differently about Santa Anna's laws. They came from the United States. They were used to having more of a say in their government. The Texians worried that giving up a few rights now could mean losing more before long. Some Texian leaders were so angry that they started a rebellion. They wanted Texas to break free of Mexico and become an independent country. News of the rebellion in Texas made it back to Mexico City. Santa Anna was furious. How dare these rebels try to steal Mexico's land? In late 1835, he sent General Cos to deal with the Texians. The Mexicans and Texians fought many battles. But after this last battle on December 9th, the Mexicans were forced out of Texas. Now, Mexican citizens all around you are making difficult choices. Many Mexican citizens support Santa Anna. They believe Texas should remain with Mexico. Others are choosing to fight with the Texian rebels. Antonio Lopez de Santa Anna. Rebellion. In a rebellion, people defy authority and fight for change in their political system. Furious. Someone who is furious is very, very angry.
Wait. Can you pause real quick? Is that where Santa got his name?
No.
No.
That's from an old Irish thing called St. Nicholas, I believe.
Fighting for Texas. You were born in Louisiana. You came to San Antonio 10 years ago to buy land and become a Mexican citizen. You paid your taxes and obeyed the laws. But you no longer want to be a Mexican citizen. You think Santa Anna's strict laws are unfair, and you've joined with many other Texians in a fight for independence. Since General Cause was defeated, rumors have buzzed around town. Some claim Santa Anna is marching north with an army of thousands. Others say he won't come until spring. Just in case, you send your wife and children to Louisiana, where they'll be safe. Nearly 150 men make up the garrison in San Antonio. Only a few men are trained soldiers. William Travis is one of the leaders. He shares command with Jim Bowie, who is one of your best friends. A few men have joined the garrison from the United States. The other day, famous frontiersman Davy Crockett led a group from Tennessee into town. Early in the morning on February 23rd, you were standing guard at San Fernando Church. Suddenly, you spot movement on the horizon. Hundreds of soldiers are marching from the south. The rumors were right. You yank the bell's rope. "Santa Anna is coming!" you yell. Townspeople dash through the streets. Many flee the town. Others rush into the Alamo. Church leaders called missionaries lived in the Alamo about 100 years ago. Some buildings in the Alamo don't have roofs, and the tall walls surrounding the buildings are crumbling, but it's still the safest place to go. Once inside the Alamo, you see Elmeron Dickinson struggling with the cannons. Nearby, Travis is sending John Smith to the town of Gonzales to round up volunteers to help fight. You rush to Dickinson's side. "Is your family safely inside?" you ask. "Yes, Susanna took baby Angelina into the sacristy," he says. The tiny sacristy is near the chapel. It's probably the safest place in the Alamo. As you work on the cannons, more residents make their way into the Alamo. Some men lead cows into the back pen. Others cart corn into storage rooms. "We could be locked up in here for weeks," you mutter to yourself. "I'm glad we'll have plenty of food to eat." Suddenly, you hear a child's cry for help. You peek through a small window. 8-year-old Enrique Esparza is standing below you. The Alamo's front gates have already been locked and he can't get in. You lift him through the window. "Gracias," he shouts as he races to find his father, Gregorio, one of the volunteer fighters. Just then, William Travis approaches the cannons. "Santa Anna is here," he cries, pointing to the San Fernando Church. The Mexicans have raised a red flag from the bell tower. When Travis sees it, he scowls. "Ha! Santa Anna wants us to surrender, but we're not giving up." He pounds his fist on a cannon. "Fire it," he orders. "We'll never surrender to that tyrant." Tyrant. A tyrant is a powerful person who rules others in a cruel or unreasonable way. William Travis spots Santa Anna's army. The Alamo included several rooms which varied in size. Dickinson loads the cannon. "Stand clear," you shout as you pull the cannon's rope tight. Boom! Smoke rings rise as the iron ball soars through the air. The Mexicans respond with cannon fire of their own. They continue firing throughout the evening. Luckily, they're still too far away to do any harm to the walls. Travis orders the cannon crew to fire only occasionally. The cannonballs can't be wasted this early in the attack. He knows they will be needed when the Mexicans move closer to the walls. The next afternoon, Crockett stops you in the plaza. Jim Bowie is very ill. They think it's typhoid fever, he says. You hurry to Bowie's room. Along the way, a man stops you. Travis wants us to gather supplies from the shacks in La Villita, he says, pointing to the nearby village. Will you help us? You agree to go. You push open the Alamo's heavy wooden gates. Then you sprint 300 yards to La Villita. You must move quickly so the Mexicans don't spot you. You search all the shacks and return with baskets of food, clothing, and blankets. Occasionally. If you do something occasionally, you do it only once in a while. That night, the Mexicans continue shooting cannonballs at the walls. It seems like the explosions are getting louder and louder. The next morning, you're patrolling back in the Alamo. You see a line of Mexicans marching into La Villita. You join a crew atop the wall, aim your rifle, and fire. The Mexican soldiers dive behind the shacks for cover. They return fire, but many have already been hit. The Mexicans retreat, dragging their wounded comrades with them. Later, there is talk that Crockett needs help defending the south wall. You also hear that Travis wants men to burn La Villita so the Mexicans can't use the shacks for protection again. You decide to burn La Villita. Davy Crockett and other Texians defending the south wall. You meet the other men at the gate. You light a torch and dart toward the small wooden shacks called jacales. You touch your torch to the walls of one of the jacales. The shack bursts into flames. You move quickly through the village, lighting each jacale as you go. Soon, La Villita is a fiery scene. Across the river, the Mexicans see the flames. They aim and fire. Luckily, no one is harmed. Your crew is already back inside the Alamo. The jacales in La Villita quickly burst into flames. On March 1st, John Smith returns with 32 men from Gonzales. Travis is grateful they have come, yet worry shows on his face. He's been sending out messages daily. So far, only the town of Gonzales has responded. 2 days later, you walk through the plaza. Smith is leaving to deliver a message to the Texian leaders in the town of Washington on the Brazos. Green Jameson is gathering a crew to repair the crumbling north wall. You follow Jameson to the north wall. It's crumbling from the constant cannon fire. The Mexicans are now only about 250 yards away. You must move quickly to stop the wall from caving in completely. You hammer wood braces and shovel dirt against the stone. After several hours, Jameson tells you to stop. We've done the best we can for now, he says. The next morning, you visit the sacristy with Gregorio Esparza. His children race to his side. Almiron Dickinson and his wife rock their baby to sleep. You spend the day there with your friends. You're grateful that your family is far away from this place. On the afternoon of March 5th, you return to help Jameson secure the north wall. Davy Crockett approaches. Travis has ordered a meeting in the main plaza, he says. Secure. When you secure an area, you make it safe from being attacked. As you enter the plaza, the bright sun warms your face. Everyone is here. The defenders, the women, and the children. Even Bowie is carried into the plaza on his cot. Travis addresses the group. You can tell by the sad look on his face that he doesn't have good news. I've sent many letters to the Texian leaders asking for help, he says. Yesterday, I saw the Mexicans building ladders to climb the walls. I doubt any more volunteers will get here before they attack. You study the faces in the crowd. They're all pale with worry. Everyone knows what a fight without more defenders means. It's impossible for fewer than 200 men to fight off thousands of soldiers. I will fight to my last breath, Travis continues. He removes his silver sword from the sheath at his side. He uses it to cut a line in the sand. It stretches from one end of the plaza to the other. Now you must decide. Cross the line if you want to stay and fight for the liberty of Texas. Davy Crockett, Almiron Dickinson, and Gregorio Esparza step across the line. Even Bowie is carried across the line on his cot. Within minutes, all have crossed the line except for you and a Frenchman named Louis Rose. I can't stay and die here, Rose says. This is not my war to fight. Legend says Travis drew a line in the sand with his sword at the final meeting at the Alamo. You think of your own wife and children. You don't want to die, leaving them all alone. What would they do without you? Yet your friends will need all the help they can get. You're sad at the thought of leaving your friends, but you must do what's best for your family. I'm sorry, but I must leave too, you say. You glance at the men around you. No one frowns upon you. They respect your decision. Travis thanks you for your service. Crockett and Bowie wish you luck. As you prepare to leave that night, you look back one last time across the Alamo. Davy Crockett and his men are guarding the south wall. William Travis and Almiron Dickinson work on the cannons. Candlelight glows from Jim Bowie's room as he struggles to stay alive one more night. You hear the women in the sacristy softly talking. You believe this is the last time you'll see your friends alive. With this image burned in your memory, you climb over the tall stone wall and race into the darkness. You make it past the Mexican batteries without being detected. As you run northward to freedom, you know you've made it. You will see your family again.
I thought it's when you were a kid.
No. All right. Next page.
Remember the Alamo. By dawn, on March 6th, the Battle of the Alamo was over. The Mexicans won. As he promised, Santa Anna did not take any prisoners. Every Texian defender inside the Alamo died in the battle. All of the women and children in the Alamo were allowed to leave. The Mexicans tore down the Texians' flag. The Mexican red, white, and green battle flag was put up in its place. Santa Anna wanted to make sure every defender was dead, especially the leaders. He demanded to see the bodies of William Travis, Jim Bowie, and Davy Crockett. The Mexican soldiers searched the defenders' bodies for weapons and valuables. Then they heaped the bodies into a pile and burned them. Texians weren't the only ones to die that day. Hundreds of Mexican soldiers were killed or wounded. Santa Anna would have lost far fewer men if he had waited for the 12-pound cannons to arrive. Many Mexican soldiers and officers lost respect for Santa Anna because of his decision to charge the Alamo before the larger cannons arrived. Santa Anna ordered Alamo survivor Susanna Dickinson to carry a warning to Texian leader Sam Houston. If the other rebels did not surrender, they would share the same fate as their Alamo friends.
Sorry, buddy. Okay, gotcha.
Susanna
Yeah,
walked
2 more.
70 miles east to Gonzales, carrying her daughter, Angelina. When she arrived, she gave Houston the message. She also told him what she witnessed at the Alamo. Houston ordered everyone to leave Gonzales. Then he burned the town and marched his army east towards San Jacinto. On April 21st, Santa Anna and his men were resting near San Jacinto. Houston attacked and caught Santa Anna by surprise. As Houston's army charged, they shouted the battle cry, "Remember the Alamo!" The battle was over in 18 minutes. This time, the Texians won. Susanna Dickinson. On April 21st, 1836, Texians battled Mexican soldiers at the Battle of San Jacinto.
Still one more page.
I know.
Santa Anna was caught during the battle, and he became Houston's prisoner. The Mexican leader begged for his life. Houston let him live, but not without a price. Santa Anna would have to order his armies back to Mexico and stay out of Texas forever. Santa Anna agreed. Texas was finally free. The Republic of Texas remained its own country until 1845. That year, the Texian leaders decided to join the United States. Texas became the 28th state. To this day, the people of Texas still remember the brave defenders of the Alamo. In fact, on the back of the state seal is a sketch of the old missions chapel. Above it is written Houston's battle cry from San Jacinto, "Remember the Alamo." Today, thousands of people visit the Alamo to remember the people who lost their lives there.
All right, we're about to do our reading test and vocabulary test. If you are on the computer, you need to go into HMH through, remember you go into, let me see if I can find it. You go into your rapid identity, then you click on this Ed right here, the one with the smiley face, and it'll say the Battle of the Alamo, and then I will be sending the vocabulary one through Google Classroom, so it will be on Google Classroom here in just a moment.
I'm going to do vocab too.
Yes, I'm going to send it to you through Google Classroom. And then just take a break till, well, just hang out, just get back on, but don't say anything because I will let them finish. And then we're going to go ahead and jump into math because of they have a test to take after they take their math test. So they're pretty much tested. What?
We stay on the Google Meet, but without a mic.
Yes, just mute your microphone, please. That'd be perfect. All right. So,